Guys, it's Megan,
This is Matt.
and today we're doing a review of Little Big Planet, which is the most adorable damn game you will ever play in your life.
That's one way to put it. This is the first game in the now pretty big franchise for Sony and PlayStation, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And this game came out in 2008. It's a platformer, but with a lot of customization and creation tools to make your own levels and stuff.
Levels and characters. And Little Big Planet is set in a world that has 7 creation curators. And these curators each have their own little set of levels within the overall world. But one of them, the collector, is evil. And he's taking all the curator's creations and keeping them for himself. So your job as a cute little sack boy is to find the collector and basically defeat him.
In his reign of terror.
Exactly. And there is, of course, the witty British narrator that makes everything better.
The narrator is my favorite. I just learned apparently it's Stephen Fry, who's a pretty prominent British actor, and he's funny and it makes me giggle.
He's pretty sassy in this.
Yeah, I thank God he's there. Talking too long about the narrator.
So what did you like, Matthew?
Well, this Little Big Planet's kind of near and dear to my heart. It's one of the first PlayStation 3 games I ever got. It actually came bundled with my system. I didn't really know what to think of it at first, but one of my favorite things about this is just the personality and the visualness of the game, the style. It's just really unique. I don't know, just really just kind of like took me in when I first saw it.
Yeah, I have never seen a game with an art style similar to this, and it's really cool.
Another thing that I really like about it is the character customization. There's a ton of items and different pieces of clothing and like materials that you can collect just through playing through the main game to customize your little sack person, but there's also all kinds of DLC in terms of like outfits, which something that I thought was really cool is that PlayStation kind of just like gave them free reign at Media Molecule. So it's in this gameplay you'll see like I'm Rorschach from Watchmen. There's some Marvel costumes. There's even costumes from other PlayStation franchises such as Killzone, God of War, Uncharted, stuff like that.
There's really almost too many choices. I
It
think.
is. It's very hard to decide sometimes, but I love it. That has no effect on gameplay whatsoever. But I just love dressing up my little sack person.
You can make your cute little adorable sack boy a killing machine, or you can make it a cute little fairy.
A cuddly killing machine.
Right, exactly. You can also change the facial expressions by using the D-pad too. I think that's
which adds a little bit more personality to them.
right. And I think staying on the artsy fartsy side of things, I really like the music.
Oh yeah.
I think it's really catchy. It's not your typical game music, and it really adds a lot to each level.
Yeah, it's a good mix of some more eclectic stuff, some stuff's just instrumentals. I know for a fact that some of there is some actual licensed music in there from actual artists, and then some of it was made specifically for the game. So it's a nice mix of both, and it's quirky and fun, just like the rest of the game.
And I also like how each set of levels has a theme. They're based off of everything from countries to types of places. This one has the savannah. Japan, I think, a whole slew of places.
Yeah, there's the one that's a city. There's a metropolis themed one. There's one that's kind of like a desert kind of theme. There's a good mix in the 7. Maybe it's actually 8 worlds.
I don't remember.
Don't quote me on that, but it's fairly lengthy.
So as for the downside, I think first of all the story, while there, is not really relevant. I mean, it's there, but I still think you're playing through the levels to play through the levels.
Yeah, I kind of agree. At the same time, though, I didn't go into this expecting to play this for the story, though.
Oh, it's true, but it's worth mentioning.
Pretty throwaway.
And then the other thing, the game mechanics are just really floaty. It's like you're on ice the whole time. And it's hard to gauge, because it has 3 different levels, planes in it, and it's hard to tell which plane you're on at any given moment.
I would agree. This gets slightly better in the later Little Big Planet games, but it's the famous floaty controls started here, and it's like, it shouldn't be hard. You go from playing something like Mario, where everything feels so precise, and then playing this, it's not a precise platformer. It's just not. And maybe it's just something you get used to over time, but it's still kind of frustrating.
Yeah, the video you're watching is actually us playing, and you'll see me, I'm the one with the pigtails, falling a whole lot because I couldn't get used to the mechanics.
Well, I feel like Little Big Planet 2 is a little bit tighter in terms of
It
controls.
is.
We hadn't played the first one in a while.
As they go through, they get better.
Slightly, but still floaty.
Yeah.
But, and I mean, we didn't even touch on, because we've not really done too much, the huge amount of like player-created levels out there for you to try and download and everything. So honestly, if you have an online connection, which who doesn't these days, the amount of like replayability that you could get out of this game is potentially endless.
Mm-hmm. And this is backtracking a little bit, but we forgot to mention that along with customizing the character, you can customize your home screen. They call it the pod in this game, and you collect decorations and stickers, and they're actually, some of the decorations are 3D and some are just stickers, and it's actually a lot of fun.
The game really emphasizes making everything your own, a reflection of you and who you are. It's really kind of cool. I believe like the tagline for the game was like play, create, share, and that create part was probably my favorite part of it.
Right.
Even though we didn't really delve too much into even like level creating. There's a ton of options, even if you don't want to, because it could be a little intimidating to try to jump into that. But there's a ton of options for you even if you don't do that. And then for the people out there that are creating levels, they can share them, and you're free to download them and experience them for yourself.
Mm-hmm. And thinking ahead a little bit, in all of the rest of the Little Big Planet games, to the Vita game and karting, it's still just as fun. And I think we spend more time customizing our character than actually playing the levels in the game.
Sometimes.
Most of the time. So, do you have any final thoughts, must-knows for our audience?
Definitely worth picking up. And if you already have Little Big Planet 2, I can't really recommend getting this one because you're not missing out on a whole lot.
Not really.
It's definitely improved, but if you haven't tried any of them, go ahead and try to get this one. It's guaranteed really cheap now. You'll probably find it used less than $10, and you can get the Game of the Year edition because it includes some extra outfits and bonus levels. So it's a good bang for your buck.
And if you get really good at this game, then the second one just becomes easy as cake. As for my final thoughts, I shall leave you with a warning. Don't be deceived by the adorableness. It can get incredibly frustratingly hard at times, where you just keep dying and dying.
That's mainly due to the controls. I guess there's that too. While this is we kind of are backtracking maybe a little bit, while this maybe looks like cute and cuddly like a kid's game, I'm inclined to believe it's not.
Yeah, it's a little too difficult to be a kid's game.
It's beatable, but what really shines again is the just charm of the visuals, everything in the game. So it's more about the fun factor. That's what keeps you coming back to this, the uniqueness of it. And even though there'll be some moments where you want to throw the controller, you'll eventually want to come back and play some more, especially with friends.
Yeah.
So, thanks for watching, guys. I guess we will see you next time for our next review.
And don't forget to comment, subscribe, or send us a message.
See ya.
Bye.